mainly on a night shift in the work that I do, quite a dark job that I do at times, and it can be quite depressing. So I use banter as my shield and create characters to get through the night. So the character I'm going to create tonight, or going to recreate, I should say, is a guy by the name of Tarquin Farnham Cavendish. He's a Travelogue reporter for the Times Sunday supplement, and his aptly named Travelogue is called TOFF'S TRAVEL'S. So Tarquin is visiting Liverpool for the first time, and I'll come into character for this. Can take this off, Bob?
Do that, yes.
Put off, Bob. My first evening spent in the home of the Merseybeat would not have been complete without a visit to the street made famous by the city's most famous sons. Leaving my penthouse apartment to steal a leisurely stroll to the shopping mecca that is Liverpool one, I exited the other side to find myself a truffle's throw away from the heart of Beatlemania. Entering Matthew Street, I became immediately transfixed by the eclectic mix of sounds, not only from the various public houses and discotheques, but also from the wild delirium of the natives. Negotiating my way to go on slaughter humorous requests for my shilling, I arrived outside the entrance of an energetic establishment named the Rubber of Soul. Making my way past the snarling, gesticulating door attendants, I was met with what I can only describe as a scene in keeping with the Roman Caesar's debauched idea of entertainment. Scantily clad wenches gyrated to music which offended my very soul, whilst alpha males disguised in drink stood leering at their intended prey. Wishing to leave but desperate to urinate, I mustered the courage to enter the vomit and feces-covered facilities. Men sniffing white powders off their hands and acting aggressively. Made fun of my tweed jacket and trilby hat, knocking it off at one point into a porcelain receptacle filled with yellow liquid and cigarette filters. As the contents of my bowels filled my trousers, I took this as a sign as my intuition dictated I bid this place a fond farewell. After a hasty retreat to my safe surroundings and a much-needed clean, I laid down my weary head, hoping that my foray into the area known as Croxteth would not yield nearly as much challenging excitement. So in his second installment of TOFF'S TRAVEL'S, Tarquin Farnham Cavendish continues his travels around the great port of city Liverpool, this week travelling to the leafy suburb of Croxteth, to take a look at the birthplace of British youth icons Wayne, Coley and Rooney. After my initial and somewhat unnerving introduction to the delights the city has to offer, I decided to take a stroll around the native soil that gave birth to two of the most famous youth icons of recent times. Deciding to forego my usual mode of transport, I rang my driver to explain I would not be requiring his services today, and opted to use a more rustic form of travel. Arriving in Croxteth on the number 14 of the local transport system, I felt my insight to dress down for my trip was already paying dividends. In my polo shirt, sports jacket, chinos and casual loafers, I seemed to blend in with the entourage of scowling, sportily dressed youths who immediately took an interest in me as I alighted from my Arriva carriage. Attempting to discern the local dialect and a repeated reference to me as lad, lid and bellend, I requested that I be pointed in the direction of where the Rooney family had nurtured their roots. After paying a tax of £100, which I was informed was local custom, I was pointed towards a row of quaint townhouses that were in keeping with the local area. Alarmingly, it seems, Wayne Rooney fell foul of the local people he grew amongst, as there were many lewd references to him written in the large graffiti that I would not care to duplicate for our readers. Approaching a local female to ask her opinion on the insults aimed at Rooney, I noticed her hand was stuck in the opening of one of Her Majesty's Royal Mail post offices. Post boxes, I should say. The lady obviously had been there for some time, as it was late in the afternoon and she's still dressed in her pyjamas and slippers. I imagined she had been needed to rush out early that very morning to post an important document and had found herself in this terrible predicament. Screaming loudly and obviously in some pain, I attempted to assist her, but was accosted by a group of local youth who had taken to recording the incident with mobile phones. No doubt intending to alert the authorities of this woman's attempted crime, as I was Julian Farnham, one was a smack rat who becomes stuck when trying to graft local mail, and I should do one or risk the anger of the locals. Obviously, in the middle of the locally fueled upset, I decided to big Croxton of less than fond farewell and return to my penthouse in the city via the self-signalled hackney carriage. Tarquin takes his third week into Toxteth. Few friends will get this one. Taking a leisurely stroll around the imposing architecture of Liverpool's Anglican Cathedral, I became taken with the display of Georgian splendour that the neighbouring locality contained. Row upon row of magnificent buildings spoke of a time when the leaders of commerce and industry in this great city would return from a day of stressful rent collections in the slums and ground of the inner districts to recharge the energies of their noble entitlement. Continuing my sojourn east along the tree-lined Princess Avenue, I chanced upon the lively Granby Boulevard and became immediately captivated by the smells and sound of my youth. As an alumni at Cambridge University, I often found the stress of my father's expectations and studies too much to bear. Reggae and marijuana were my relief. A dirty little secret at the time for someone of my pedigree and breeding. Bob Marley recycled on mainstream and acceptable in small doses to the majority of high society, as is the marijuana that must be taken in tandem to enjoy its true meaning. Swaying in time to the tempo of the beats emanating from Ken's local barbershop, I approached a group of West Indian London gentlemen who eyed me warily. Verbalising the most Barbary-esque greeting I could remember seemed to bring me great kudos among this group, as no longer as I remarked the words Irimon, was I met with the respects of being acknowledged as an equal and kindred spirit amongst my West Indian brethren. Batty boy and bumper rat class, with no terms of affection for my best attempt at keeping it real. And my initiation was complete when I parted the 1,000 of our English pounds for half an ounce of the finest herb, which I was told was grown specially on the sacred grounds of the Marley estate back in Jamaica. Feeling giddy after 2 inhalations, I agreed to have my bouffant styled into a more urban look, and was told off the letters T-W-A-T, shaved into my hair by Ken. The back of my hair proudly stood for Tarquin Welcome Anytime. Bidding my friends goodbye, I made my way back to my Babylonian penthouse, high on the charms of the Calypso.